So Mary plays a very pivotal role in today's gospel. She notices that the wedding feast is running out of wine. Might be somewhat embarrassing for the wedding couple, but in the whole scheme of things, it's not really such a big deal. But the lack of wine, that's just a cover for what they really needed. And also, I find that Jesus talks to his mother in a strange way. He calls her woman, just like he does from the cross at his death. This isn't meant as disrespect. The gospel writer is showing us something. Jesus says woman because he's distancing himself from her because he doesn't think it's his time. And also on the cross, when he says woman, he again is distancing himself because he's about to die and he doesn't want his mother to be left alone. But back to the gospel. Mary recognizes the lack of what they need. And Mary knows this really isn't about wine. It's about what the Jewish people needed and what we need. We have been desolate and forsaken long enough, as we heard in the prophet Isaiah. It is time, Mary says, do whatever he tells you. Mary is concerned for us, aware of our lack and our need for a Savior. So she speaks to Jesus, the God side of the divine-human relationship. They have no wine, she says. We humans have lost our union with God, and these words will be echoed throughout the Scriptures in many various ways by all who seek God's presence. For example, the royal official who says, "Come down before my little boy dies." The lame man who says, "I have no one to put me into the pool." Philip who says, 6 months' wages is not enough money to buy this much bread for this crowd. Martha and Mary who say, "Lord, the one you love is ill." These statements combine to create a chorus of human affliction. What is the human affliction that affects us today? What is our chorus? My mother fell ill and shattered her femur. My brother committed suicide. My marriage is falling apart. I'm getting old and feeble, and I'm all alone. My siblings aren't talking to each other. My child is falling in with a bad crowd. We humans are bombarded by pain and suffering, and if we choose, that's all we'll see. In those times, we cry out to God, "Lord, I want to see. Show me your glory. Show me that life has meaning. Show me that my children will be safe. Show me, Lord." The longing of the human heart is played out today by Mary's simple phrase, "Do whatever he tells you." Mary knows that we need Jesus and that we need him now. It is time. And we know that we need Jesus too, or we wouldn't have come today to be in communion with each other, to be in community with like-minded people, to be journeying together, to not wander through our life alone. The longing of your heart is shown by your presence here today. And Jesus' glory is to bring the divine abundance into the world of human lack. The incarnate love of God is geared to prevent perishing. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. In a sense, Jesus steps into the void, the gap caused by the sin of Adam and Eve, the chasm separating us from God. Mary tells her son, "It is time. Bridge the gap. Do whatever he tells you," she says. And that is how we are to live. Whatever Jesus tells us to do, love with everything we've got. Let me end with a short story. It's a story about how some people in India catch monkeys. They cut a small hole in a sturdy box and put a nut inside the box. The hole is just large enough for the monkey's hand to fit inside, but as soon as it grabs the nut, its fist is too big to come back out. So the monkey has a choice. It can let go of the nut and get free, or it can clutch the nut and remain trapped. Monkeys usually hang on to the nut. And now the choice is ours. We can do whatever Jesus tells us to do or not. But please, never forget when you make your choice, when Jesus began his public ministry at Cana, that's how it ended, with love for you.